Who says the old man can't run?
I know, man. It just was. It was a fighting moment. You know, it wasn't spectacular times you see me run the last couple of years, but it was a time where I needed to fight. You know, in these last 2 rounds, semis and finals, you just had to go out there and just fight for those rounds and get ready for the finals and just run all the way to the finish line. I know that's what it's going to be. I watched, Christian come along the last couple of races, and he's dominated through from the start all the way through the finish line. So I had to make sure I was right there with him and try to hold on with experience.
Well, Justin, it looks like the last 20 meters really put a lot of effort into it. Were you thinking anything about you had to get out in front?
Well, besides being injured this year, I wanted to do something a little different, with my race pattern. And if you watch a lot of my races for like 2004 and 5, I wasn't a great starter, but I finished really strong. And I wanted to be able to readapt that to my race pattern, and have a top end kind of speed. And, one of the people I look at is Tori Bowie. She has a good start now. She gets out with the field, but she has a great top end. And I just want to be able to incorporate that back into what my race pattern is and have a good start, but also finish well.
How would you assess your sequence of 3 starts here at this meet? Going through this sequence.
I really just thought about just being fluid. The last couple races that I've had this season have not been fluid. I've had either a good start or I had to run everyone down to have a good finish. And obviously, I'm getting 4th or 5th here and there. And besides the injury part, I just didn't feel like I was putting my race pattern together. And today, the 3 races I had, from yesterday and today, I felt like they became more fluid. I became more confident in my race pattern again.
How special was it knowing you're going to be back in London? Another world champion.
It's just been surreal. To be honest with you guys, I know I'm in the twilight of my career, and today listening to the announcer name all my accomplishments that I've done in the last couple of years of my career, I feel accomplished. So at this point in time, I think I'm balancing accomplishment and hunger, and I got to be able to find that hunger again. These guys are just starting their career off. They're just getting started. I got to make sure that I stay hungry and be able to say, this is something I want to fight for.
How do you stay hungry? What do you have to do to get that hunger back?
And as your career goes on, the more success you have, that window of hunger becomes smaller and smaller. And for me, it's just, my coach said today, if you are comfortable with what you've done in your career, at least give me these 9 seconds today. That's exactly what he said to me. And it somehow just lit a fire into me. I was like, he wants these 9, I'm going to give him these 9.
How special is it to know that you're going to see Mr. Bolt again?
It feels great. And the sweet thing is about it, you have 2 hungry guys who have no nervousness about them, and they're hungry to go out there and make a name for themselves. So I feel like I'm getting ready, I'm suited up, and I have an army behind me, and we're going to go out there and lead the charge.
Do you feel like you've lost a step from last year, or do you feel like you're the same that you were the last couple of years?
It's hard to say because, mentally, I'm getting sharp again. Physically, my body's catching up to where it needs to be. Like I said, I got injured early this season, right when it was time for me to do speed work. So it put me back it almost put me back 3 weeks, almost a month. Groin, and then it went into my hamstring. My quad. So then from there, I just had to be able to push the pace on practice. And I'm getting my butt kicked by Isaiah in practice, and I had to make sure that it didn't affect me mentally. Just come out and say, I got to do what I have to do.
Will you run the 2? And what's your next meet in Europe?
I don't know. I'm gonna sleep on it tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I really know, but my next meet is probably gonna be actually Budapest. So just get ready for that and just have fun this season and get ready for London.
Did Christian being involved?
Did you ever question yourself at all? Maybe with the injuries and stuff that you ever
Oh yeah, for sure. With the injury and then knowing my age and then knowing that I'm comfortable with all the success I had in my career, I was trying to juggle and see exactly what it was. Is it me being complacent, or is it me just because I'm being injured, or is it me just because I just need to get sharp again? So then I had to eliminate 2 things and say, all right, I just need to get sharp again. I need to fight for it, and I came out and I fought for it today.
Did the fact that Christian's involved play into your motivation at all?
I was walking to the call room, and I was thinking about if I have to write a book, this whole scenario will be a chapter of my book. How somehow I feel like it's like a mirror image of watching Christian, what he's done this season, and I had to face that. I had to face him at the starting line, and it felt like I had to face a younger version of me, and a guy who's hungry, and he doesn't want to lose, and he wants to be the best he can be, you know, and he's confident in himself. So running that race, I knew in the middle part of the race, I just had to be relaxed and be confident in myself and get to the finish line first.
How many more years do you want to keep running?
Man, I'm taking the meat by meat. Meat by meat. Like I said, I mean, if I can go 2020, it'll be for my son, you know, to be able to take him to the Olympics and so he can understand, you know, what it feels to be Olympian and be at the Olympics and experience that. He's been to 2 Olympic trials. He's old enough to understand what Dad does. He doesn't want to run track at this point in time. He wants to be a scientist. I'm happy for that. But, you know, I'm past the part where it means something for me, and I have to do it for my loved ones now. And people really care about me and want to see me do well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you.